Hello and welcome to the first episode of a quick news analysis. So this is for students of Ben's British English. I'm Ben, your host. And so what I want to do in this episode is to look at a few of the headlines from the news today and analyze some of the language and try and understand some of the new vocabulary to then practice. Unfortunately today there is not very pleasant news, but more interested in the language. And so we'll start looking here at police hunt Tunisian over Berlin attack. A Tunisian man, Anis Amri, is named as the prime suspect in the hunt for the Berlin lorry attacker. So I think here we have two pieces of vocabulary which might be new for most people. Here we have prime, a prime suspect. Prime in this case means number one, the number one suspect. So the police think that this man, Anis Amri, is the most probable suspect in the attack in Berlin. And this attack was done in a lorry. And I think this is a word that many Americans find very funny. Because it's a very, very British way to say a truck or a large transporter vehicle. It is a funny word, but not so much in this context. So lorry, large vehicle or truck. Again, continuing with not very pleasant news, we have dozens killed in Mexico fireworks blast. This word here, dozens, a dozen, literally means 12. But when we say dozens, plural, what we mean is many. So many people killed in Mexico fireworks blast. And a blast is an explosion. So an explosion at a fireworks market in Mexico kills at least 31 people and injures many more. I want to look at this next article here, which is YouTube star kicked off plane. YouTube star Adam Saleh's post about his removal from a Delta Airlines flight goes viral. So he was kicked off of a plane or a flight by Delta Airlines. Kicked off means that he was ejected. He was removed from the plane for causing a problem. So you can be kicked off of a plane, meaning that you have to leave, and you can also be kicked out of a bar or a restaurant, also for causing trouble. So kicked off and kicked out, new phrasal verbs. And finally, let's just clear this. Finally, we have plastic rice seized in Nigeria. So the word seized here, if we look further down, we have another clue about what seized means. Seized means confiscated. And if you don't know what confiscated means, or seized, it means taken by force. So Nigeria confiscates or takes by force 2.5 tons of plastic rice smuggled into the country from China, officials say. This word smuggled. To smuggle is to take something into a country illegally, or to take it out of a country illegally. So obviously, this is quite terrible. Some fake plastic rice was found in Nigeria, smuggled in, taken in illegally from China, and it has been taken by officials in Nigeria. So I'll just leave you with these notes here so that you can see everything more clearly. We have prime suspect, so our number one suspect. Lorry is a very British way to say truck, a large vehicle. Dozens, a dozen is literally 12, and in this context means many. A blast is an explosion. To be kicked off is to be ejected or removed, and I also added kicked out, which is also ejected or removed. Smuggled is when something's moved illegally across a border. And I'm going to leave you with some homework. The homework will be to write 5 sentences of